So I have wondered deeply about this topic too, because I've had friends that have committed schmooshmide. And I've talked a lot with them about it, and they haven't really given me much, but lately they've been giving me a little bit more about it. So they're saying this topic specifically, compared to like everything else, is extremely nuanced. There is a lot actually to this specific situation, which actually like very surprised me, because there's like a lot of different things to it. So they're telling me there's many things. So when somebody does that, it is to break open the people around them. That's what any death does, but specifically those deaths, because what it does is it makes you question, did they go to heaven or hell? What was going through their minds when they passed away? Why did they do that? It causes like you to start really thinking, compared to like other deaths. Like, yeah, other deaths can cause that as well, but like schmooshmide specifically are like very different compared to other deaths. And I will attest to this, because grieving somebody who committed schmooshmide versus like not, because I've grieved a lot of death in my life. I was a nurse and I've just like lost people in my life. It's harder, because it leaves you with more questions, I feel like, than any other death. Every other death like leaves you with the answers, because you know like how they passed away, and you know it was just like natural causes, or even if it wasn't, if it was an accident or if it was a tragedy or whatever, you have answers. With schmooshmide, it's open-ended, because you can't ask that person the questions. There's no like way to figure out like what they were thinking in their final moments and those types of things. And so that one of the reasons is to break people open around them and cause this like kind of like thinking to like start. And there's been like a decent amount of them on this planet right now, because it caused like we're in an awakening time. And so one way to awaken is through trauma. Like I awakened through deep trauma. I've been very traumatized my entire life. And that's how I like literally woke up, was because I was so deeply traumatized that I needed to find answers out of this fucking place and like what the fuck was going on. And then I got psychic downloads and stuff that answered that. And so trauma, causes people to start to awaken. That's one of the reasons. Another reason they're telling me is like, okay, so for example, like mine friends passed away when they were like 13 years old, which is like pretty young. And they're saying the thing about it is like those souls come down here, but they cannot take the density of Earth for like extended periods of time, like into a lifetime. So they can only come like so far, basically, is what they're telling me. They're very, very like young, like younger souls kind of a thing, which I think is interesting. For some of them. Then there's others that it's strategic. It's this thing that a soul wants to experience, like what it feels like to so unfortunately what it is it's this very polarizing thing, because you feel so hopeless and like in despair, and like God can't solve your problems when you're down here, and that's like why you do it. And it's not necessarily even that you believe in God or whatever it is, but you just believe that like nothing can get better for you, or like you've gone too far or something. There's something that causes people to trigger them into, and I obviously know this because I've battled with these thoughts for 17 years. Very long time I've battled with schmooshmidal thoughts. And it's always because, like, you just feel, like, very hopeless. Like, you just feel like you dug yourself too deep in a hole that you can't get yourself out of. Or that, like, you just don't have things that other people have. Like, for me, I just wanted, like, a happy family and a happy life, and I felt like I was a good person, and then I just felt like horrible, terrible things just kept happening to me. And I couldn't figure out why. And so then I was like, well, the alternative here is to die, because I cannot make sense of my reality. So I must get out of it. That was basically, like, my logic my whole life. And so God's saying, like, when you pass away in that kind of state of mind, when you reconnect back to God on the other side, it's, like, this very, like, it's, like, kind of like this breath of fresh air. It's, like, oh, it's, like, it's like this very like polarizing like kind of thing for a soul. It's like a jolt for a soul, because when you pass away and you go back to source, it's like you immediately feel like euphoric and love and all this like stuff that you're searching for down here on earth. That's what we're searching for, is heaven. We're searching for that down here. We're searching for love. We're searching for euphoria. We're searching for bliss. We're searching for connection. We're searching for all of those things. And you feel such a deep lack of it when you go to do something like that, that when you do pass away, then it's like this like very like beautiful experience kind of a thing. So again, like they're telling me there's like when there's like shocking polarity down here, there is something on the other side of heaven. Like they were telling me this with like babies, like miscarried babies, like they just can't take the density down here, so they'll incarnate during dissension periods to experience like what it feels like to be in a body, but they can't like fully incarnate yet because they're really baby souls. And so they come down here, feel a body, you know, absorb the consciousness, all that stuff. Then they can go off into like lower density like planets, because Earth is a very dense planet. It's very dense compared to other planets out there in the universe. And so it's very unique. It's a very unique planet. And again, it only goes through dissension periods every 13,000 years or so. And then especially like this type of polarity, or like we're at the worst part of it as well. And they were telling me that, so, like, when they say that, like, babies go to heaven, like, miscarried babies go to heaven, they do. Because they go to a more heaven-like planet that's way less, like, karmic and way less dense. And they're saying the same thing with, like, Shmoosh Mind. Like, that's, like, a totally, like, there's actually lots of, again, they're telling me it's so nuanced, because they're saying, like, it depends, like, how you commit Shmoosh Mind as well. It's, like, what intentions did you have behind it down here? Because there's people who have intentions like that who are, like, lost and in despair and stuff like that, like me. Right, who do it because like we just like we're searching for God, right? But then there's people who do it to like get out of facing accountability. Like I think about Taylor and Russell from Real Housewives of Orange County, I think it was, or maybe it was Beverly Hills. It was Beverly Hills. And her husband committed Shmoosh Mind like during the filming of the show, and he like beat her. And so like basically it was like he, in a sense, he was like trying to like avoid accountability of like the fact that he had to like face the world then after like they found out that he like did that to her. And it was like I don't even know if it was like directly after that, but it definitely like contributed to it, like that kind of stuff. Like there's people who do it like out of guilt, and God's saying like then that's like a different karmic lesson too. When you like reincarnate, you have to like, it's like something with reincarnation then, or something with that as well. But, you know, I was raised Christian, and I was always told that, like, people who commit Shmoosh Mind, go to hell. And God's saying for people who do it, like, with the intention of, like, subverting or averting, accountability, they do go to a parallel dimension that is, like, slightly tougher than the one that they came from, basically. Like it does get actually like harder if you don't keep facing accountability, is what God's saying. But if you do it because you're like lost and in despair, and because somebody hurt you so bad, or things hurt you so bad and you just can't take it here and all this stuff, and you didn't actually like hurt people, you know, you were just hurting, and you're not trying to avoid accountability, you just like are like riddled with guilt or shame or all these things, then you do go to heaven. Then that's when you go to like, you know, heaven. And again, it's just like dimensional realms. It's not actual like places. Like hell you can only experience when you're incarnated in a body. So we're in hell right now. That's why a lot of us like, that's why there's like a lot of terrible stuff going on right now, because we're in the worst parts of the dissension period. So this is a very, very nuanced topic. I think there's even more to this, too. Like, there's many... And there's not a lot like this, like, with these types of things. Like, there's usually, like, just a few answers. But this one, they're saying it's very, very nuanced. There is a lot to this. So, this is all they're giving me, though. So, yeah. I think it's interesting. I find a lot of peace of mind with this. And, like, knowing my friends, like, you know, that they, you know... it's just like what their souls agreed to, and like what they could take, and that they came down here and basically like sacrificed their lives to break me open in a way, you know. So it's like and that's like how we honor them, is by like not allowing this place to continue to be a place where people want to do that. And that's what I've learned, is like, we have to change and become the people that would never allow that to happen, and never allow people to feel so hopeless, or like even feel like so fucked up to do bad things and then feel like you have to escape obligation or accountability. You know, that too. We don't want that either anymore.